takeaways. We love takeaways, but there are some takeaways to stay away from, and that's why we have Nicola here from Nourish. Ugh. I'm saying not about you, but what I'm looking at here.
Yeah, well, we all have times when we're too busy, too tired, or just run out of food in the pantry when we want to get takeaways. But there's definitely some that you would pick over others.
Oh my goodness! I'm just looking at it now, and we'll get to what there's actually simulating there. But I mean, what takeaways are good to have though?
Well, things like a wrap or a souvlaki, sushi is really good. And a lot of the Asian mixes that you can get with lots of vegetables in them. So try not to. Sometimes when you get them, you can see that they're a bit oily. But if you try to avoid that, and also if you try and have lots of vegetables,
right.
It's hard to work out sometimes with a takeaway that half a plate of vegetables that we normally aim for. But if you can sort of picture that in your mind and look at the meal and think, okay, is half my plate vegetables with this meal?
Okay, well, we have to get into this because you've really teased us. Let's have a look at this wonderful display that you've gone to the effort to put together for us.
So first we'll do the fish and chips. So fish and chips, a meal like that with 2 fish and a scoop of chips, have 95 grams of fat in it. And for a full day's amount of fat, it's recommended that you don't have over about 60, depending on the size of your body. So this meal has 1.5 times the recommended limit.
So one serving.
Just in one meal there. So you want to avoid that one if you can.
Absolutely.
The next one we've got here is a pie, a donut, a chocolate bar, and a milkshake. So that one's got 78 grams of fat in that one there. So that's up high there as well. Yeah. So
I mean,
particularly
it does look quite tasty, but that is frightening.
Yes, and particularly items with pastry in them, really high in fat. Pastry is about 40% fat, so that's what bumps up the amount there. What have we got here? So chicken and chips, about 75 grams of fat in that one as well. So sorry, I left that one up.
That's all right.
Yeah,
so we're thinking of the KFC sort of thing going on.
Yes, any type of fried chicken like that, and the chips. Yeah.
Oh dear.
Yep. And then what have we got here? This is the burger, fries, and apple pie, and that one's about 60 grams of fat. And you can imagine that a burger in itself is actually not too bad. And when you can make your burgers at home, and you can make them lovely and full of vegetables and that sort of thing. But the big problem here are the fries. So the smaller a potato chip or fry is, the higher percentage of fat they've got in them. So try and avoid those fries. If you're going to have chips at all, have a nice chunky wedge or
budget comes into it though.
Yes, of course.
Doesn't it? Budget comes into it. It's a quick meal and we don't want to spend a fortune for those takeaways. So, and is that the deciding factor for people?
Well, it can often be, but often when you're getting takeaways and actually going out to get it or waiting for it to be delivered, half an hour to an hour can go by. So I think when you've got a bit of a budget and you want to stay within the budget, pop down to the supermarket and see what takeaway you can get there. You can get a hot chicken, some bread and some salad from the deli. You can get lovely bags of mixed salads just even in the fruit and vegetable department now. Or some lovely Lebanese bread and a nice filling for that. So if you sort of think in your head, well, we're going to buy dinner tonight, especially, but you can pop down and get quite a good bargain at the supermarket.
Well, that's some great tips, and I'm loving. You actually inspired me on Saturday night what to cook, and we had the homemade pizzas again.
Ah,
so thank you for that. But today is a pizza, the recipe, isn't it?
Yes, yes. So it's a Moroccan lamb pizza today, and made with leftover lamb from a roast. So really easy to make and really delicious with a little bit of yogurt and mint and coriander on top. So if you're thinking that, if you're looking at takeaways, the biggest thing is just avoid deep fried and avoid pastry and go for something with lots of vegetables in it. Can't go wrong.
And back to fish and chips, even if you like fish and chips, try baking it.
Yes, definitely.
It doesn't take long at all, does it?
No, baking a piece of crumbed fish is very good.
It's good times.
Yeah.
And just to recap though, if we do have some questions though, you are happy to answer them through Facebook or through your website nourish.org.nz, aren't you?
Yep, definitely.
If we're a bit stuck. But I am
Yes.
looking forward to looking at that recipe later on. Moroccan lamb, it sounds too divine. Thanks, Nicola.
No worries.
Rightio, now stay with us. Here we are, Nourish Nutrition Limited. Nourish.org.nz is that wonderful website. The Facebook, Nourish Nutrition Limited. Remember, with Nicola, it's all about health through food.